So today I thought it would be fun to show you guys my favorite style of makeup. Honestly, this style of makeup is heavily influenced by the Satin Puppets. If you don't know who they are, I suggest you check them out on TikTok because you will fall in love. It's not 100% the way that they do their makeup, but it is definitely heavily inspired by them. I don't have their big beautiful eyelids, so I can't do like the big doe eye thing like they do, but I'm obsessed with them. So this is my version of their makeup. And I'm using all my regular shit that I use, you know, my damn drugstore, whole whatever routine, the damn e.l.f. moisturizer, the Wet n Wild primer. I am using a new foundation though today that I don't know if I've ever used it on this channel. This is the Hard Candy Glamouflage, and I am using it in the shade Ivory. Now, every time that I use this on my TikTok, people say, but I'm already Ivory, I'm already shade Ivory. What can I do to make my skin paler? I would imagine you're gonna have to move to like a clown paint, because I don't know. If I use anything lighter than a shade beige, it makes me very fair. So I would suggest like a clown paint or something. I own a bunch of them, love them, so maybe that. I love this shit, but it dries like fucking plastic. It's not coming off without a makeup remover and a fucking prayer. It's like hardcore shit, and I can only find it at Walmart. I'm pretty sure it's only available at Walmart, but I also heard that this brand, Hard Candy, had like an iron grip on the 2000s, and I don't remember it at all. In fact, I think I brought that up on my how I did my makeup in the 2000s video. Y2K is having this big resurgence on TikTok, and everybody's like, oh, Hard Candy makeup was all the rage. I'm like, where the fuck was I? In Appalachia. That's where I was. So I decided to do 2 layers of this because I don't know why. I think the first one might have just been too patchy for my liking. So I decided to add a second layer, which is pretty damn common when you're using foundations and paints and shit that are too light for your skin. Sometimes they can be a little patchy and you gotta go in and do multiple layers. And honestly, with this foundation, it doesn't feel gross. It really doesn't feel gross. You can't feel it at all. And by the way, I'm using LA Girl translucent setting powder, and this shit was choking me out. Like literally, it was getting in my lungs and making me fucking cough like baby powder. I mean, it works and it's cheap, but you breathe it in. You can feel it just nestling so comfortably in your damn lungs. But it works. So, you know, if something happens, at least we get hurt and be pretty. I don't know. Now we're going to go in with this Maybelline brown eyeshadow, and you're just going to take a big fluffy brush and just beat the shit out of your eye. Like literally just smear that shit all around until you look like fucking Uncle Fester. You need to be channeling the full Uncle Fester core. If you don't look like him by the end of this, you need to add more. But you can do it with any color that you want. Sometimes I really like to do it with brown, black, or like a reddish or pink shade. And I'm going in with this NYX white crayon thing, and to be perfectly honest, it's not meant to make my eyelids white. It's just meant to make them noticeably different. And a lot of people say, well, why don't you do it differently? Because I'm fucking lazy, that's why. And I rub it on the palm of my hand between eyes just to clear all of the eyeshadow off of it. And these bitches are cheap, so just abuse the hell out of them. And I'm using LA Girl white eyeliner, and to be perfectly honest, mine is old and crusty and dried out, and it should have worked way better than what it did. It hasn't had a lid on it in months, and I tried to sharpen it, and the whole damn white eyeliner fell out of the tube, and I had to shove it back in there. So it was rough getting it on, and it made a noticeable difference, but it wasn't like white, you know, which is what I wanted. And I'm gonna go in with this CoverGirl blush, and I'm gonna make like this stained look around my lips. Sometimes I like to do it with this, sometimes I like to do it with brown, sometimes I like to do it with more of like a purpley shade. It really doesn't matter. You can just play with colors with this look, but when you get to the end of this, you better look like the fucking Joker. You better look a lot like Joker from the movie Joker. You know what I mean? Like, look at that. You better look like the fucking Joker so you know that you did it right. And then we're going in with some brown Maybelline eyeshadow, and we're just darkening up like the outline of my lips just to kind of like add a little bit of detail, give it a little bit of depth, blah, 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 blah. There's like 9 million colors on my fucking mouth by the end of this. And I'm using this Revlon Color Stay Satin ink. It's honestly, it's supposed to be like this like liquidy, almost lip gloss, but it's supposed to be a lipstick, and it's a fucking lip gloss. And honestly, it's the first time I've ever used it doing this look, and it traveled. It didn't do what I wanted it to do. It traveled. I put the gloss on my lips and that bitch moved, and it made me so fucking mad. I mean, the look still turned out, but it made me very, very angry. Now, most of the time I use a big eyeshadow palette by, what the fuck is the brand? Morphe. I usually use a giant Morphe palette and just use like the grays and the blacks and the browns and that to do my contour. But it was downstairs and I was upstairs, and we all know I'm not going fucking downstairs to get it. So I tried to contour with just like my regular e.l.f. contour, and it was too bronze. It wasn't enough gray. So I ended up going in with some brown eyeshadow. There I am, putting on my little nose blush and then softening it a little bit. And here I just gave up. I just gave up and was like, okay, I guess that this lipstick is going to be all over. And I'm going in with the Maybelline Super Stay Matte Ink lipstick, because that shit goes on and it stays on like problematically well. Like fucking problematically well. And when you wear it with a lip gloss, it's not as sticky as it normally is. Guys, I don't know how, I don't know why I lost the footage of me painting my eyelashes white. But I use a white NYX liquid eyeliner. The same one I'm using to put on my eyebrows is the same one that I used to paint my eyelashes. And it's really simple. You just paint them like you're putting on mascara without a mascara wand. And it doesn't hurt your eyes or anything like that. And honestly, you would think it would feel heavy and you would notice it a lot, but really you don't. It's super simple and it's very pretty, but that's what I did. That's what I did, and I used the same eyeliner that I'm using to put on my damn eyebrows. I literally looked up. I did my shit, and I looked up and I was like, oh my God, I wasn't recording the whole time. And that's not something I can go back and do. And this is me just softening up my stuff with a brush, because I don't know. I really don't know why I cared at all. I guess I thought if I'm gonna do it, I may as well do it. And this is me throwing on an Amazon wig and a bonnet and just feeling myself, being like, yes, bitch. To staring off into the pasture, laughing. Here's my Shein sunglasses that I can't wear outside of the house because they warp everything around me. Anyways, bye.